A very good evening, everyone, from where you are. This is Ivan, your aviation guy from Innovations. Today we're back as usual, Friday. On the panel today with me is a renowned drone operator, Clifford Obara from Nairobi, Kenya, representing African Air Group based in Kenya, Wilson National Airport. Pleased to see you, Captain.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be in Uganda.
It's a pleasure to be with you here on Cars to Wingman, and this is the Aviators Club of Uganda. We are proudly sponsored by Wama Aero Innovations, and today's sponsor is in conjunction with African Air Group. Can you briefly, Captain, tell us about African Air Group before we proceed on with the rest?
Thank you very much, Captain. It's very pleasure to be here at Wama Aero and Uganda, to be specific.
Yep.
My name is Captain Clifford Obara. We are representing, I am business development for African Air Group. We are an organization that deals both in drone operations as well as drone training.
Oh, that's so great. Today, the agenda, I think what we have on the agenda is a new partnership between African Air Group and Wama Aero Innovation with the current event that's really going on. It's going to happen. Can you please tell us the event that is going to happen, that has brought African Air Group together with Wama Aero Innovations?
Yes, thank you. It's a pleasure to have these partnerships. In aviation, most events do take place from collaborations and partnerships. It's very rare that organizations do things on their own.
Very true.
So we have been running a successful program in Nairobi with our youths called, which we refer to as a youth aviation camp.
Oh.
And we felt that since we want to make it an East African thing, and that is where we selected to work with the Wama Aero Group to introduce the same camp here in Uganda for the local aviators.
Oh, so when do you hope this camp will commence?
This camp will commence during the next school holidays.
Yes. That's so great.
That is when we'll start off the first camp.
So it's going to be the first camp ever happened in Uganda?
Correct. This is the first time it's happening in Uganda.
Okay. And where does Wama Aero Innovations come along within this camp? What's their role?
The collaboration with Wama Aero is Wama Aero already has a huge pool of students to work with.
Yeah.
And Wama Aero already has the infrastructure here in Uganda.
Yeah.
So we are not trying to reinvent the wheel and seek different approvals and talk to these youths differently. We want to rely on the local knowledge that is currently available.
Yes.
And then build on that.
Okay.
Yes.
That's so great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, and parents out there, students out there, and prospects of aviation, now we know what we are going to be doing during the course of the holiday. There's no redundancy. The camp is on, the camp is real, as Captain is really elucidating the whole thing about the camp. So now, Captain, help me and revise me, I will tell our viewers what packages are within the holiday camp. What can parents out there or students or prospects out there expect within the camp?
Thank you. This is going to be a very interesting adventure, if I can call it that.
Yes.
And what the parents are going to expect is a lot of fun activities for your students. We are trying to integrate what they learn in schools versus how it is applied in the aviation field.
Exactly.
So we're going to be looking at things like physics and relating it to the child. Why are we learning physics, or how is physics involved in aviation?
Aerodynamics.
Correct. And breaking it down in a way that they can understand and develop their interest in aviation. Not everybody wants to become a pilot at the end of the day.
Yes.
And it is only from this camp that the child will actually narrow in on, this is the area that I want to do, or this is the area that I'm good at. And out of that advice, then parents can now make an educated decision on what to do with their children at the end of the day. So the program is broken down into 3 different segments.
Name it.
And that is age-wise. So we have the Falcon members. These are the children from age 4 to age 16, primarily in the primary schooling background. And then now we move on to the Eagle members who are aged 14 to 18, and these are primarily secondary school going students.
Yes.
And then now we have the Hawk members who are aged between 19 and 23. Now these are the gentlemen and ladies who do not necessarily want to go to campus, or who are still trying to wait for campus and have finished high school and want a skill that in aviation that they can get involved in and some revenue as a way to join college.
Okay, now Captain, can you please tell me about the history of drone operation in Uganda? Because I understand you're one of the pioneers here, who brought the drone thing here in Uganda. Can you kind of give me a small history of the drone operations here in Uganda?
Thank you. That is very interesting to discuss about. I came to Uganda for the first time to do drone operations in 2016.
Yeah.
And this was a pilot program that we were setting up, whereby we wanted to see how we can introduce drone technology into day-and-day activities.
Definitely.
And the first aspect that we considered was the medical deliveries. And so how advantageous can it be to send medical supplies via the drone compared to the conventional means of sending deliveries via boat and depending on the sea. And so the program was very successful, and we did launch it successfully. And then now out of that, we felt that we still have a gap that we had not closed. And so the conversations went on with the Uganda Civil Aviation Authority, who have been very helpful.
Yes, they're very good, and we really thank CA. We really salute you out there.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the good and hard work you're really putting in the aviation ministry. Thank you so much, and we salute you.
So the department they now challenged me. We are trying to approve your operations, but yet we don't have the qualified personnel. And that was a challenge now to me, and it got me thinking, now how are we going to bridge this gap? I'm not always going to be able to come back from Nairobi to do the flights so locally. So why not build local capacity?
Local capacity.
And have
that's
Ugandans
very
do
important.
these operations for themselves. And that is now why I'm back, and I'm interested to have this partnership with Wama Aero. And for the first time in Uganda, we are going to be offering licenses and certificates for drone pilots.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to let you know that drone operation or drone flying is real. Okay, it's real. There are a lot of jobs out there that seek drone operation. Okay, say like surveying. I mean, modern world. People no longer move foot on foot to do surveys.
No, they don't.
Surveys are done by drones. Let us look at the cinematography worldwide. Okay, if you go to Hollywood, they no longer have these cameramen that stand and run around it. It's being operated by the drone, by drones. Yeah. Okay. Look at warfare. I mean, I'm sorry to say, I hope this is not hardy, but
it's 80% of drone operations.
80% is drone operation. Okay. So we're moving into an era where drones should be day-to-day life. Okay. And I call out parents out there, much as you're interested into flying or any other section of aviation, trust me, drone operation is very real. Okay, let's take up a commercial break and we'll be right back. Thank you so much. Magic 4820, say altitude.
Magic 4820, our altitude is 3053 feet.
We can make you more comfortable or to help you in any way.
2662 radar contact. Leslie 2662 proceed direct PV, resume the departure.
Proceed direct heavy, resume the departure. Leslie 2662.
Oh, welcome back from the short break, and like I said, this program is proudly sponsored by Wama Aero Innovations. Wama Aero Innovations is into simulation construction, ATC simulation and everything. And we are proudly in conjunction with African Air Group, who are really so enticing and are going to help us with this youth camp. Okay, back to you, Captain. So now let's talk about the location. Where is this event going to take place?
Thank you. We have partnered with a resort in Gwebaja called True Shine Resort.
True Shine Resort.
Yes. They are located in Gwebaja, and they are going to be hosting our camps during all the holiday events up until the finals in December for the major grand holiday.
Also, True Shine Gwebaja, thank you so much for the hospitality. we hope to be there. And Trushain, how are we going to deal with long distance learners? Say, for instance, a guy could be coming from Kabale. Okay, he can't locomote from here, Kabale, back and forth to Trushain.
Yes.
How is that? How is that arrangement?
Yeah, thank you. That is also very important to put out here. We have designed this program in a way that students don't only benefit from Kampala. We are trying to encourage as much students outside Kampala and within the whole Uganda to come and participate. So it has been structured in a 3-day program whereby the student will come to Trushain. We are going to incubate them for 3 days and take them through aviation seminars. We're going to be taking them through practical flying, and we're also going to be sensitizing them about everything and anything aviation. So the plan is that students will arrive on Friday evening, or Friday afternoon, sorry, and they'll depart on Sunday afternoon as well.
Okay, so accommodation is at Trushain.
Yes, the accommodation will be at Trushain, and this is going to be a camping facilities where we have tents for the kids, and it is going to be very interactive with a lot of fun activities. It has been designed in a way that with the same model that the scouting model uses. So children are not just being bombarded by a lot of theory and a lot of teaching, but also some fun activities.
Definitely.
And
games and everything.
Yes, that also will encourage cooperation and collaboration between their fellow colleagues.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're coming from far, accommodation is at Trushain, and those who are residing within the jurisdiction of Kampala, still accommodation is Trushain, Buevaja, right?
Correct.
Thank you for the side of Trushain. Next, how is it going to be affordable? Because what we are looking at here is the prices. When you relate our economy with what we're supposed to do, it's all priorities now these days. So, how is this going? How is the camp going to manage the funds here? Is it going to be cost friendly?
Yes, it is going to be very, very cost friendly, and the reason why it is being cost friendly is because of the various partnerships that we're going to introduce into this.
Yes.
Trushain Beboja is coming aboard to sponsor the program. African Air Group is also coming on board to partially sponsor the program.
Yes.
Wama Aero Group is also partially sponsoring the program. So you find that at the end of the day, what the student is left to pay is just a small administration fee.
Correct.
And this program is designed in a way that at the end of the program, there's a qualification that the student is getting.
Definitely.
And based on this qualification, the student ends up becoming employable. So the tuition that they're going to be putting down, which we're going to talk about later, will cover everything that the student will require for him to become employable in the drone industry.
With the drone.
Yes.
You said how long is this camp going to take?
The camp will take 3 days.
3 days, yes.
Split over each holiday. So we'll have 3 holiday sessions in a year with the grand finale in December. And
that's why the students who have been enrolling will be graduating.
Yes.
In December holidays.
Yes.
So they can come in second term, okay? Then December holiday will be graduation.
Yes.
Then we pick it up 2025. First term holiday, second term holiday, third term holiday, they graduate.
And then they graduate with another skill.
Okay. Next, Captain, we know we have 3 categories of people we expect. We have the Falcons, we have the Eagles, and we have the Cranes.
Yes.
When it comes to payments, all right, will the Falcons and the Eagles and the Cranes pay the same amount of money, or is it going to be different amount of money? Because we have the Falcons at 4 to 16,
yes,
and the Eagles at 16 to 18 and 18 and above. How is this going to be?
So for the parents and the sponsors out there, the program has been designed in 2 ways. And the first option is always the cheapest option, which is the year-long subscription. So this is going to be done on a membership basis, whereby the students are going to be paying, in Uganda shillings, it's going to be 1,500,000 for the annual membership.
Annual membership.
Yes, and this cuts across the Eagle, the Falcons, and the Hawks.
1.5
Uganda shillings. Yes.
Okay.
And now
So it cuts across
it cuts across
from
for
the falcons up to the cranes
for the annual
for
membership.
the annual membership. Yeah.
And then if we are to break it down, because we are also not starting on a fresh year. So
Yeah,
now
that's the year.
yeah, so for the holiday camp, it's going to be 350 for the falcons and the eagles. Those are the primary and the
Okay.
secondary students.
Yeah, 300 what?
350.
Thousands.
Yes, that is
Okay.
for the 3-day holiday camp.
Yeah, for the 3 day.
and
the
then
cranes?
for the other advanced students, they're going to be paying 500,000.
500,000. Okay. So now, what we expect here, the seminar is going to be skillful because we're looking at a category of kids who have been at school. They've been reading, having a lot of reading. They've been doing is it going to be, what's the percentage of skills on in relation to the theory?
It's going to be about 80% more practical and 20% theory.
Oh, okay.
They're going to be watching a lot of videos and watching a lot of seminars on what to do, and they're going to be rehearsing the same. So we are not taking them back to school. The whole point of this holiday camp is to detox their mind.
That was my worry, you know. That was my worry because now, look, Captain, I was worried that, and I thought that we organized something from the flying pan to the fire, you know,
no.
From theory to theory, you know.
We are making it as fun and interactive as much as possible.
And this is why we shout it loud, you know.
Yeah.
Aviation is a more practical thing, okay. Aviation is a more and more practical thing. It's a skill thing. So let us have less theory and have more of skill provision.
Yes.
Of more practicals.
Yes.
That would be so enticing. So Captain, now that we have these kids in the categories of the falcon and the eagle and everything, is it going to be are these kids going to really have hands-on experience?
You will find that at the end of each camp, there is a certification that the student gets.
Oh.
So you can find that, for instance, the new people who are just starting off the first term, they will understand how to switch on and how to switch off the drone and the different components of a drone. And then they'll progress again to the next holiday camp where now they understand the drone and how it gets fired on. Now, how do we actually program this drone to do what we want to do?
Exactly.
So you find that during every subsequent holiday, there's going to be a skill. That they're going to be advancing further and further, up until a point where they can fly the drone and do a commercial work and earn revenue and give back to their parents.
And I think as Wama Aero Innovations, we shall be bringing some of our simulators over there.
Correct.
And trust me, with us, kids will have really a good experience of flying. You see, they'll have the controls and they'll feel how it feels to fly.
Yes, for the first time as well, and this is very encouraging. Simulators are being encouraged and introduced, and that is one of the reasons why we chose Wama Aero to partner with.
So thank you so much. Captain, let's go for a commercial break. We will be right back. Coming up. So it accelerates the whole situation, teaching you about using it.
Behind God on way 4 left, taxi right on Alpha, hold short of Julia. Right on hold short Julia, 4
And welcome back from the short break, and here we are. So now, Captain, where are the instructors? Let's talk about the instructors. You got a team of instructors, and where are they coming from?
Yes, correct. We have a team of instructors, and currently we're going to be relying a lot on the pool of personnel that Wama Aero has under their disposal. On the drone side, I am coming on board as a qualified instructor.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other reason why I am coming on board is also so that we can train more drone instructors, so that we can build our pool resources. So for the flight wise, Wama Aero has it sorted out on the instructor bit. On the drone side, African Air will come in through myself.
Okay. Do we have drone operators here in Uganda?
I would say we don't have any commercial drone operators.
Oh.
Yes. And this is going to be the first time that we are approved.
I think it's high time I went for commercial drone operations. Can I? Or I'm too old for it.
No, it's never too old. I think my oldest drone student was about 50.
Oh!
He runs a media house, and
Yes.
he just wanted to move from conventional photography to drone photography. And so you're never too old or you're never too young.
So, what we're saying here, what we're looking at here, in Uganda, as we are now, we don't have a commercial drone operator.
No, we do not.
Certified and commercial drone operator.
Not yet.
Oh.
At the end of this program, we hope to have one.
Definitely. Because regardless of the age, as long as you are, I think you're beyond 18 years and above, you can become a commercial drone operator, right?
Yes.
Like it is in flying.
Yes, but that also does not stop the under 18s also to become drone operators. You are allowed to do your activities as long as you're limited on the scope. Drone operations are normally classified between two categories. We have low risk operations,
Yes.
and then we have medium risk operations.
Yes.
So low risk operations are where students are put in a school, and probably they're flying the drones in a cage in a low risk environment.
Yes, yes. In a low risk, like in this studio,
Yes,
applies it. Yeah.
correct. And there's a cage between the drones and the children.
Minimizing risk.
Yeah, so that is considered low risk. And then medium risk operations are now when it is outdoors and now you're at the mercy of the winds and other elements. So you'll find that for the low risk categories, that is why we're mostly focusing on the primary age group. Because there's nothing that stops a 12-year-old from conducting a low risk operation in their schools. Yep.
Okay. And now, Captain, now, when does the whole program start? And at what time does it start and what time does it end?
Great. For the program, we have two different categories of memberships that we're going to be onboarding. It's designed as a holiday camp on the assumption that most of students are going to be in boarding facilities or do not want their schools interrupted for one reason or the other. Although we still have another option whereby day scholars are also welcome, and this is going to be running every weekend.
Oh.
So the program that we had mentioned earlier from Friday to Sunday starts on every weekend when the student is available.
Oh.
So for instance, if you, Captain, you are ready, we can do your mentorship from next week. Friday, I release you on Sunday.
That is so great. So what kind of, what is the mentorship package that we have this time around as far as this youth camp is concerned? Mainly, be specific about the mentorship package.
So
we
we are not just taking the students randomly on holiday activities.
Yes.
We are mentoring them and nurturing them towards a skill or towards a career at the end of the day. So we'll be mainly focusing on airport tours, where we take the students through Kajansi and the airports to visualize what kind of environment will they be engaging in. And then now the students will then now come back, and based on that, we'll engage them in a mentorship program.
But do you know that that's a crowd pull? One time at flight school, so a guy, he came from Egypt and he was telling me, Ivan, do you know how I enrolled myself into aviation or flying? I said, no, there's a time when I was at the airport, at Cairo International Airport, and he saw pilots smartly dressed and they were barging into the plane to take off. And that really enticed him, you know.
And
that's how he got on board.
Yeah.
And he was doing flight training with me, you know. So things of a kind of taking people to the real environment.
Yes.
Okay, is a builder itself.
Yes.
It's a motivator itself.
Correct.
That can really motivate someone.
The good thing about the airport tours is youths and children are very intuitive. Their memory is very sharp.
Yeah, exactly.
You will, as you said, for example, for the Cairo guy, he just saw one image.
That was
image
it.
stuck.
that image is stuck in him.
It's stuck in his head.
Yeah.
So these airport tours are also going to be very important.
And can you imagine? He was one of the smartest guys at campus, at school. Yeah. He was one of the smartest guys, doing the same thing as the other ones were. You know.
So out of the airport tours, then now we'll come back to the camp and now engage the mentorship, the one-on-one mentorship. So what did you see? What areas were you interested in? What do you want to know more? And from there, we'll kick off the mentorship program. Which
Depending on the kids' wish. Or
yes, it is going to be very, very personal and very individualized. We're going to be sitting down with each kid separately and understanding what their needs are. And it's based on that assessment that we'll be relaying periodic reports to the parents and telling them the son has gone this far and this is where
great
they are
captain.
likely to end up.
Assessment is so good as far as teaching is concerned. Okay. We would like so much to take people to where they would like to, not to dragging people to where they wouldn't like to.
Yes.
Okay. You know why there are a lot of people out there who have gone to university and failed to get jobs? It's because they went into something that they didn't even know. Okay, and they are doing things they had those academias without passion for them.
Yes.
Okay, so now if you take a kid at Entebbe, goes to Tower, goes where, they will come back and no, I don't feel like flying. I want to know about Tower.
Yes.
No, I would like to fly these drones and do cinematography, or do survey.
Yes.
Okay, or mineral finding at the same time.
Correct.
So this is so good, Captain, and I really appreciate this program because we are looking at what kids would wish to,
Yes.
not what we would wish to
offer the kids.
over the kids.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we're not offering them anything at this point.
Yes,
we are mentoring them to
ladies and
what?
gentlemen, we are not offering your kids anything, but we are within the lines of their preference.
Yes.
Exactly. Welcome back from the short break, and it's still me, Ivan, your aviation guy from Mama Air Innovations, and Captain Clifford Obara from African Air Group, based in Nairobi, Kenya, Wilson National Airport. Okay, Captain, can you please help me and take me through the mentorship skill stages that we expect into this youth camp?
Great. So the stages that the youth camp is going to be involved in, and this is not only unique to the youth camp, this is also applicable to individuals who also want to become certified pilots.
Yes.
So,
like me.
Like you yourself.
Yes.
So what we normally look out for, or what the Civil Aviation Authority mandates me as an instructor to perform, is planning skills and flight skills. So the two stages, once you graduate from the planning skills, you now move on to the second stage, which is now the flight skills. So on the planning skills,
Yes,
we're
sir.
going to be looking into 4 different aspects.
Okay.
So initially, once we start off, we'll be doing the weather skills.
Weather.
Yeah. Are you as a pilot or you as a layman able to differentiate the kinds of weather that are available? And this is very important because as aviators, we do not operate in a vacuum.
Definitely.
We are always hindered by either bad weather on everything that we are operating in has to happen in the atmosphere.
Exactly.
So what I am going to be looking out for at the end of the day is, can this student adequately and properly determine what kind of adverse weather conditions are, and do they know where to look for this information? Then we're going to move on now to the planning skills, aircraft preparation,
Uh-huh.
are you able, where we take now the student or the cadet through the various components of an aircraft, the propellers, the engines, in this case the engines are going to be the batteries.
Yeah, the battery.
Everything in aviation has a similar role in the drone world.
Yeah, definitely.
So can you,
for us, we call it pre-flight.
yes, so these are the pre-flight checks for the drone operator.
Yeah.
Can you switch on your aircraft? Can you identify what battery is required for your aircraft?
Exactly.
Are you able to install the propellers correctly? And so now that is going to be now the second stage on the planning bit. You've not started flying yet. And then once you are done with the aircraft, something that is also paramount in drone operations, unlike manned aviation, in manned aviation, the aircraft will tell you what the aircraft can do. If it is a 172, you're limited to 4 passengers, and you're limited to training or leisure.
Definitely.
If it is a Boeing 747, you are doing passengers, or you're doing a 747 cargo. So the aircraft is what determines the applicability of your pilot. On the drone aspect, it is the apps that we use that will determine what this drone can do. The applications that are used for agricultural flights are not the same apps that are used for survey.
For survey.
And are not the same apps as well that I use to instruct. And so now that is stage 3. Now that is where we've learned how to check our weather, we've learned how to prepare our aircraft. Now, can we relate our apps to the aircraft?
The aircraft, yes.
Yeah. And now that is now when we teach now app specific. For the surveyors, how do they tune their apps? How do they set it up? How do they go about it? For the photographers, how do they set their apps, what their ISO settings, all those nice things that they need for the camera to give them the clear image.
Yes.
For me as an instructor, there are also different apps that are required to enable me to teach. So those are the different aspects that we're going to be taking the students through on the planning skills.
Yes.
Once they graduate from the planning skills, now we move on to the second stage, and we'll consider them a bit more. It's like in aviation where you've done your PPL.
Yes.
And then now you're still PPL, but you're doing more advanced things towards attaining your CPL.
Definitely.
Yeah. So now that is now what we will consider the flying skills.
The flying skills.
So
now we are done with the preparation. We are done with weather reading, with pre-flights and planning. Now we are going airborne.
Yes. Now I am confident that you can start the aircraft, you can prepare the aircraft,
Definitely.
you can now start flying it. So now under the flight skills,
that's the second stage.
Yes, this is now under the second stage. We are also looking at 3 categories. So on the flying skills, we're looking at your pre-flight checks.
Yes.
Are you able to connect the app? Are you able to connect the weather? Are you able to connect the aircraft? And are you able to start up the aircraft properly?
Yes.
So that whole sequence is what we'll be looking out for. Can you take off and land? Then now we'll progress on to what we call the QRH, or the Quick Reference Handbook. This is like the POH of in manned aviation. Are you able to determine the maximums that the aircraft can do? What is the maximum altitude that the drone can fly?
Yes.
What is the maximum range that it can go at? What is the maximum endurance of the
Endurance,
batteries?
yeah.
So that is now what we'll be teaching the students on. Are they able to identify the limits of the aircraft? And then now stage 3 is now when we're looking into now emergencies and simulated failures.
Yeah.
So just like in
just
aviation,
like we have it, simulation, engine failure, first landings,
you are going to be a
landings.
very good pilot
Yeah.
until the instructor pulls the engine on you.
Yeah, I mean,
And then you realize you didn't know any flying at
you
all.
know, one time I was flying with my instructor lavishly. It was a calm day. It wasn't even bumpy. He said, "Hey, Ivan, tell me, you enjoying the flight?" I said, "I'm kind of enjoying it. If it's because it ain't bumpy." Then he said, I said, look, watch your 6. So I looked there. You know, in fact, he said, "What's your name?" I looked there. He cut off the engines, pulled the cabin. I said, "Give me your checks."
So that is a fantastic description of now what I'll be taking the students through.
Yes.
Let them get comfortable with the flying. Then now I start throwing in emergencies.
Emergencies.
And
yes.
this is these are going to be industry-specific emergencies. For the agricultural people, we are looking at the hazards involved with the fertilizers, the hazards involved with the chemicals they'll be spraying. So they need to handle emergencies more differently than the person who's doing photography. His hazard might probably be just the sun shining on him. So the emergencies that are faced by different pilots are what we're going to be taking them through at the final stage.
Okay.
Giving them real life emergency scenarios. Say, for instance, for the agricultural guy, the chemicals have spilt on the farm. What do you do?
What do you do?
Spilt on yourself. What do you do? Yeah. So those are the three aspects on the planning side and on the flight side.
The flight side.
Yes.
So now, Captain, can you please tell us where drone application in modern day time is really applicable? Because for a layman down there would like to know, where are drones really applied? Where do they come in play? Okay? Because trust me, drone thing is a new thing. It hasn't been here for over, it hasn't even taken 5-10 years in here. No, it hasn't. So where can we find drone application in modern day life?
That is a question that is very wide. And I'm going to answer it by giving you a brief analogy of where we are right now. So we are basically where aviation was during World War II. So during World War II, you had these biplanes, and they were just for fighting wars and nothing else.
Nothing else.
And then World War II ended, and then now we had planes. Boeing was manufacturing aircrafts for the war, and now there was no war. So now they had to move on to how do we make this aircraft applicable in the civil world.
In the commercial world.
So what you're asking me is what Boeing would have been asked at the end of World War II. What can we do with these aircrafts? And you have seen how much it has changed. The gap has changed tremendously from World War II up until now.
Exactly.
The uses of aircrafts have been wide. It has been based on your imagination as a pilot. And so that is where we were. And that's where we started our conversation with. Most drone operations currently are military use.
Yes.
80% of them. And so us civilians are trying to figure out, okay, if we are not at war, what are we doing?
What else can we do with these drones here?
So now that is now where we largely in Nairobi, we are using drones for three main aspects. We have the surveyors who are tired of working in the farms.
Definitely.
And farm acreage.
You find a guy who say, I want you to clear my boundaries, and I have 1 square mile of land. Trust me. Are you going to work on foot by to make the surveyors and everything? Because you need to simplify things. Drone.
Industries like Del Monte who grow pineapples. They want to know how much acreage are we planting pineapples on.
Yes.
You are not going to walk and measure that by foot. You can do it, it will just take you 1 week. Another aspect that is coming in a lot, there are solar panels that are being put up, industrial solar panels.
Yes.
How are we inspecting these solar panels to check if they are functioning correctly, if they are installed correctly, and if they are radiating the way they should? These are not information that you can tell by sight. And the most important thing is we want to find out, are these solar panels accurate before we start firing them on?
Yes.
Then now we keep on monitoring them as use goes. Another aspect also, as I've said, agriculture. Agriculture is really huge in Africa. Then also we have documentaries like wildlife documentaries, National Geographic. 80% of my students are also either BBC employees or people who just want to do commercial activities. And the interesting thing why these documentaries are being done with drones is for the simple fact that we in Kenya, thanks to Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, have denied any foreign pilot from coming in to fly in Kenya. They are allowed to come with the equipment, but they are not allowed to fly the equipment until they can prove that Clifford, as a Kenyan, cannot do that flight. And so that is also opening opportunities that we also didn't know existed.
Yes.
We were used to just going and looking at this wildlife from a vehicle. And now it has opened up our eyes that, okay, there are documentaries that need to be shot on these tigers and these leopards. Tracking them by foot is also not economical. You are interfering with the wildlife, you are not safe as a human being. So for you to have that safe distance and to not affect width, these are the different applications. So the applications that you have asked me are limited to your imagination.
Exactly.
Yes. If you can imagine it, it can be done by a drone.
Okay. So thank you so much. Let's go out for a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Starting motors.
Okay, welcome back from the short break. It's still me, Ivan, your aviation guy from Mama Aero Innovations, and Clifford Obara from African Air Group. All right, just like we know, Captain, simplifying aviation like we flyers, people who fly. If you want to have, if you want to simplify your flight training, is doing the hard way, owning a plane.
Yes.
Okay, and is it the same that relates with drone ownership, or can someone own his drone, then come to you for training? How is that?
Yes.
And does it really cut the cost of the entire drone training process?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you'll find that over 70% of my students already have their own equipment.
Oh,
And
great.
So what we do is we offer the certification for you to be able to acquire your equipment, or you can acquire your own equipment and want the certification. So it happens either way. So what we have come here to do for the Ugandan population is to encourage those pilots who are out there, those enthusiasts who are out there.
Owning drones.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you already have your drone, then this is your opportunity to be certified.
To be certified with it.
And with our approvals as an operator, then now we can do the whole background scenes involved with the Civil Aviation Authority and allow you to conduct your operations legally.
This is so great because the last time I had on TV, they were calling on welders. Guys who are welding companies out there who have the skill of welding, please enroll for, was it 2-3 weeks into the technical school, okay, so that you come out after the 3 weeks certified, coming up certified as a professional welder with credentials. And this is so good. This is really good, Captain, because people could be having drones out there, okay, and they are flying them, but this is now the chance that you drone owners could come on board at the same time, get certified with the drone equipment. Now, let me ask you, if I'm to go in for the drone, what's the price of a drone?
Well, you will find that for our program, if you come on board, you don't have a drone, you don't have a certification, you don't have anything. You are looking about, let me put some figures, maximum figures in this case. So for an individual, you need about $1,000 to own your own drone.
Just $1,000.
That's $1,000. And then you need an extra $1,000 to undergo the certification, which is the training that we'll be offering.
Just $1,000.
Just an extra $1,000.
Yes.
And then now $500 now will give you all the necessary approvals, government approvals. That is from the Civil Aviation Authority.
Wow.
To enable you to conduct your flights legally or commercially for that sake. So for $2,500, you have your aircraft, you have your certification with your license, and you're allowed to operate legally.
Straight to Bunyoro, do oil service, get money back into your pocket.
Inform the CAA that you're going to be doing whatever flight you're going to be doing, whatever money you're going to be doing, to cover your cost of investment.
Oh, lovely. Return on investment is so soon to drone operators. Captain, if I can come in, when it comes to drones, drone operation and drone learning how to fly, drone training. Are there exams like it would be for us here? When we're doing pilot training, we do have exams. We have PPL exams, we have CPL exams, we have even ATPL. Okay. Do we have exams of the same?
Yes, and the exams you refer to the same ground school that we have in manned aviation. So there are a certain number of subjects that you're going to be expected to do.
Give me those subjects.
And so we're looking at human performance.
Okay, human performance. Yeah?
Yes, and we're also looking at metrology.
Metrology.
We're looking at
That's
navigation.
weather. Now.
Yes. And then we're also going to be teaching them on radio telephony as well, because you'll find that in most instances you might be in a situation where you're flying in close proximity to an airport or an airfield.
Yes.
And you need to keep a close lookout on the weather. And so what the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority has enabled us to do as a training organization, they allow us to do these ground schools in-house. And then after that assessment, we take that assessment to KCA, and then they issue the license.
Okay.
So it is not the Civil Aviation Authority that administers the examinations, but they're done in-house. KCA only come in at the tail end just to certify.
Okay.
Yes. So everything else will be done in-house.
So, Captain, can someone from a different aviation sector like flight operations, aerodrome operations, ATC operations, or a pilot like me, can he always come in and join the drone flight training at any one time?
Just as a testimony, myself, I'm a flight engineer, and I'm also a pilot.
Yes.
And I'm also.
Where did you go? You went to 44?
I was in a flight training center in Port Elizabeth.
Oh,
Yes.
lovely. I know Port Elizabeth.
Yes. So that is where I went to after initial engineering.
Yeah.
And so you find that in aviation, courses interlink.
Yeah, definitely.
So anybody from any background, and I'm encouraging mostly the flight dispatchers
Yes.
to come on board for this course. For the main reason that the industry in aviation is small. We cannot accommodate or dispatch planes like we used to in the olden days.
Definitely.
So the space for flight dispatchers is decreasing.
It's
in the actual
narrowing.
one. Yes.
By the introduction of these tabs, really. Tabs are really coming in handy with pilots.
Exactly.
Okay.
Pilots are relying more on their tablets and
They are lying more and soon FOs are really, I'm sorry to say so. Okay?
but it is
And
the reality
with
of
the
aviation.
initiation of the flight management computer system in the planes and everything, it's really,
Yeah. So you find that with that former background in aviation, it makes it much more easier for you to blend in.
It's been a pleasure hosting you, Captain Clifford Obara.
Thank you so much.
This is Aviators Club of Uganda. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful evening. We shall see you next evening, next Friday, and we're out.
Great.